Hey, so I'm Sebastian, and this is Alsino. And usually we talk about our own research or projects, but today we would like to introduce you to Maptime, a little side project of ours. And before we come to Maptime, we have heard this many times before. We have never seen so many maps in our everyday life. There are maps on our phones, on our tablets, in our cars, on news websites. There are maps everywhere, geo-visualizations, lots of stuff happening. And if you just look back, this was roughly 10 years ago when Google Maps came online. And since then, a lot of stuff has happened, a lot has changed, and it's often referred to as the democratization of tools and data. So since 10 years ago, a lot of open source tools, a lot of freely available data has been published on the web, on other sources. And now we see that there's, for example, a couple of tools that are now available. And OSM, of course, is one of the most important open data sources for geodata. And what we see now is that it's not only the mapping, the expert community anymore that is working with maps. It's data journalists, it's NGOs that are mapping stuff all over the world. There's lots of people who have no really background in cartography, no background in visualization and these kinds of fields, but they're still working with maps, with data. And so one thing that we thought about is, okay, how can we connect all these different communities? How we can connect the researchers? How can we connect the OpenStreetMap community? Can we interest the general public who's interested in these kind of things and who want to learn more about it? So and this is when we started Maptime, and Alsino will tell us a little bit more about Maptime in a minute. It's not only us two, there's also Harald and Patrick who are working on Maptime here in Berlin. And now Alsino will talk a little bit more.
Yeah, so this is basically a picture of the first session we started last year, so in November 2014. And this was the first time when we kind of we had this idea, because Maptime is actually a meetup. So the original idea is that people come together from different backgrounds and learn about new geospatial technologies. So be it maps, tools, but also concepts. So it's, if you don't know what a projection is and you just want to learn it, that's where you can come to Maptime and we'll discuss it, and you can find other people to work on projects. And this is, as I said, the first session, and we had like roughly 10 to 20 people. And it was still pretty small, but we were actually surprised that so many people showed up. So this is just another impression. People have a lot of computers, they drink a lot of beer sometimes. They talk about projects. So, and this is the state of the Maptime, maybe at the moment. So basically we have, when it first started, I think last year there were about 25 chapters in different cities, different parts of the world. And now we have around 80 chapters worldwide. And we have most of them are actually organized through this platform called meetup.com, where you can just set up a group for special interests, and then people can come up and sign up. And we have more than 8,500 members in all chapters all over the world. And if you think that only 10% of them are maybe active, it's still quite a lot of people who are interested in this topic and wanting to learn more. So in Berlin we already have 650 members in our meetup group, so it's a pretty big community. We kind of grew in 1 year, so we're quite proud of this, and there's more and more people coming. And as you see here, like we have roughly between 30 and 50 people joining each month. So we'll probably surely have 1,000 people maybe. But that's just the numbers. So mostly it's about fun. It's about meeting new people, about learning new concepts and some tools. And one of the ideas is also that because the tool landscape is changing so much, there's so much coming up every day and new tools and ways of doing things, so that we can keep each other up to date. And those are just a couple of topics that we touched. So mapping housing rents, urbanism topics, a lot of OSM, of course, different tools like D3, CartoDB, Mapbox, and so forth. And those are some of the guests, our speakers that we had for our sessions. So you see, it's quite a wide range of guests. And as Sebastian said before, Maptime is pretty much all about bringing together people from a different range of fields. So we have geographers, journalists, designers, developers, and anyone who's interested in maps, really. So please, if you're interested, just come to one of our meetings. This is just another impression of what it looks like. It's very cozy. We have wooden tables. We have a great space where we meet. We have beer and pizza, so if that's not enough, I don't know. This is for Christmas session, of course. Yeah, we have mulled wine and Christmas gifts, cookies. And we try, as I said, a lot of different subjects and different topics. So this, for example, was a session on hand-drawn maps. So everyone was actually drawing their own map, and we were then discussing those maps and thinking about why we drew them the way we did, and yeah, all these type of things. Yeah, and as we said before, so one of the main reasons we want to bring people together around this platform of maps. It works really well. It's like maybe like the OSM community, but we try to open it up for a wider audience. So OSM is still pretty closed. I think not a lot of women, as we know. And Maptime, we try to open it up a bit to the wider audience and make maps accessible for, a wider public. And not only for experts, so it's not just if you know how to use OSM or if you know how to code, you can come to us and have no background whatsoever in mapping, in geospatial technology or so, but yeah, we're happy to teach you. We're happy to find someone who can teach you. And yeah, this is our location. We're sponsored by IXDS, luckily a design agency in Kreuzberg. And yeah, as I said, we meet once a month. This is the URL if you want to check out meetup.com /maptime/BER. This is what it looks like. Yeah, and this is our contact. And if you're interested, the next session is on the 15th of December, but it's going to be a special one for well, because we only have limited seats. But we're going to have the next one in January, and then we usually have around 70 people. Well, no, between 30 and 40 people coming for each session. Yeah, if you're interested, just sign up here, send us a message, tweet, whatever. Thanks.
And if you have interesting projects you want to show to people, you want to get feedback on, please get in touch and yeah, come to our next session and show your projects. Yeah. Cool.
Yes, thank you. Okay, the crowd is a bit empty here now. Any questions about the Maptime meetup? Yeah, one question.
So, coming from outside of Berlin, I'm from Maptime Durham in the UK. Woo, we just started. But like Berlin seems great because there's loads of map-related meetups. So, with Maptime Berlin, is it people that also go to other kind of events that are similar or overlap, or is it different people going to Maptime?
I think there's some overlap, so people going to various, I mean, it also depends on the topic. So I think we have like probably a core of 10 people that always come to every session, but also there's a lot of people who just come to one session when there's an interesting topic they're interested in. So there's, yeah, a lot of mixing around, and yeah.
Okay, thank you again.